Marco. Addicted to the Giants like it's Netflix and Narcos. The CEO making big moves as per usual. Captain Negative calling everybody delusional. This podcast is number one. Like when you take a piss, so share the link and pass it. Like Big Jamaican spliffs and Mr. Make-A-Wish, the sophisticated click. I spit offensive lines, now Tim can take a sip of some beer because he likes the taste of it, right? Don't forget the New York Giants beat the Patriots twice. The sickest dudes eating chips and salsa like it's Victor Cruz. Win or lose, always gonna root for Big Blue. It's true. This a classic show. Tyree, catch it, bro. Play a drinking game while you listen and call it Plaxico. Take a couple shots. If it's funny, you can rewind to Bleed Blue. Means it's in their jeans like Levi's. Eli, man in the shit, just like a sailor. Captain, we attacking bum rush like Lawrence Taylor. Podcast on point, the sharpest arrows. BBG stay gritty like Mark Bavaro.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Bleedbigblue podcast. Jimmy D, Captain Negative, here with you. I got Tim along with us. Justin is MIA. The CEO is off doing CEO things, so it is just the two of us as of right now. Welcome. Following week one loss to the Cowboys, we're here to talk some New York Giants football. We are streaming live on Twitch, Facebook, YouTube. I think they're on Instagram. They may be on Twitter. So follow along. We got all this good stuff going on. Tim, welcome. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing all right. You know what? I'm just getting ready for week two.
We're moving on to Buffalo.
Yeah.
And that's what Pat.
It's the home opener.
That's what Pat Shermer tripped over some words this afternoon when addressing the Buffalo game this week. I'm sure we'll get to that, but real quick, let's go back. I'm sure the fans want to know your thoughts on Sunday. What happened? Who's to blame? What are your thoughts on that Cowboy game, Tim?
Here's the deal. You know what? I wasn't mad necessarily at the offense other than the fact Saquon had 11 carries. Now, he had on paper he had a decent game. But here's the problem. He killed it the first series. He was killing Dallas by himself. And why wouldn't we do that the rest of the game? And in key situations, there is no way Saquon should not be on the field. Not only should not be on the field, but why do not give it to your fullback on second and one or third and one. And let's not roll out our slowest player on the team for a rollout that he possibly has to run.
Yeah.
I have a problem with that. Yeah. If you want to get into that as far as the offense, as far as the defense, me and James, we've talked about this from the beginning. We knew this was going to happen. It's going to be a lot of growing pains. My biggest thing is coming into next week, I want to see where these young kids bounce back to. I don't care if the veterans keep messing up, they just should be on the bench. Let the young kids just play. Put Love in there, free safety. Don't even let Michael Thomas play. Throw in Sean Chandler, whoever. And let's have young kids play and learn. That's how they'll get better. And then we'll also see what kind of players they are. Because if they don't bounce back, and if they get all this down on themselves, they're probably not the kind of players we want on the team anyway.
Well, I did a lot of laughing Sunday night.
Like Joker laughing.
No, I did. It was like, yeah, you know what? It was maybe a little Joker laughing. It was like just a sick, sadistic giggle that I could not get rid of. Here's why. The entire offseason, we heard the defense was the problem. So, one would assume that they knew the defense was the problem. In what year did they take Barkley? 18, right? So 2018, we were told that you can't draft a quarterback because you're not going to use them. Right?
Okay.
How can you
Yep.
take Darnold? How can you take Rosen? How can you take Allen? They're going to sit on the bench. You're wasting a pick. Well, all the Giant fans forgot about that this year until Sunday, when it was obvious that this defense was completely overmatched. They couldn't get any pressure on the quarterback, and the only way you could protect a weak secondary is by getting pressure on the quarterback. So the Giants right now have no pass rush and no secondary. That's trouble. So, considering all the things that you've told me, Dave Gettleman, I go back to the first thing you told me about Saquon. You told me he was touched by God. So when you look at this defense, and everybody wants to jerk off over this offensive line, including the general manager, when you look at the defense, you say to yourself, okay, how do we protect this defense? How do we put ourselves in a position to win football games in spite of what we know is a bad defense?
James,
Very simple.
It's common sense.
It's very simple. You run the ball, and then you run the ball again, and then you run the ball some more. And you use the guy that you took the second pick of the draft on. He should be touching the ball 20 to 25 times a game, whether that's running the ball, whether that's catching the ball, whether that's throwing the fucking ball. The ball needs to be in his hands. You are neglecting the entire team if you're not doing that. And for this fucking coach, for Pat Shurmur, part of me hopes that what Pat Shurmur is doing is showing John Mara just how fucked up he is. Like, you want Eli? I'm going to roll him out on 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1. I'll show you can't fucking do it anymore. I hope that that's what Shurmur is doing. You wanted Eli to be this guy? Here's 40 fucking passes from him. Let me show you abundantly clear that the time is now to move on.
You think he's just being belligerent employee right now?
I don't think he knows. There's a part of me that hopes that. I really don't think it. I don't think he's smart enough. When I hear him, hear him talk to the New York media today, and I hear somebody ask him a question and set him the fuck up and say, do you feel that Josh Allen, what were your thoughts on Josh Allen? And this idiot he says, we thought he had a chance to be a starter. Well, you just opened Pandora's box. Instead of saying that the quarterback, hands down, was an exceptional talent, and we just had Barkley that much higher on the board, but we thought this kid would be an exceptional starter from day one, and the Buffalo Bills are lucky to have him. How doesn't that come out of your mouth? How do you give the media a chance to follow up and say, okay, what do you mean by that, Pat? That he had a chance to be a starter. So I can't, for as much as I want to believe that he's smart enough to do it, I watch him with the media and I can't believe it, which leads me to believe that there's a systematic fucking failure within this franchise. What is going on, Tim?
Well, as far as giving locker room material, I remember Strahan doing an interview quite a while back. He's like, listen.
Strahan's a player.
Well, this is my point. He's like, locker room material is all well and good for the media. He's like, you guys really think that these guys are playing any harder because of something that was said? He's like,
no,
they should be playing just as hard.
They're playing harder, but I think it gives them an extra level of focus and fuck you when they see stuff like that.
Oh, possibly, and I can understand that. And
right? I mean,
no, it's like you said, this is where the coaches got to be PC and not give anything up. If a player gives up locker room material, that's one thing. But a coach giving up locker room material is kind of stupid.
There's no reason for it.
Yeah, there's no reason for it. You're absolutely right on that. Am I really worried about it? No.
When you look at that, and then you go back to Sunday, and then you go back to the offseason, it's just I don't know what's going on inside the organization. I think that if you're a Giants fan and you were surprised by Sunday, that's on you. If you're a Giants fan that's sitting here going, we're going to beat Buffalo, no problem, and the Buccaneers, you better prepare yourself because it's not going to be easy. Nothing for this team is going to be easy. They are a 2.5-point home underdog to the Buffalo Bills.
Which, watching Buffalo, I think that's a little kind of garbage. But
watching that defense, it was kind of garbage?
Well, our defense was garbage. Well, because you're absolutely right. Because it doesn't make a difference. Like, everybody can get on a secondary, and which the secondary didn't play well. But when the quarterback, I don't care what quarterback it is, if he's an NFL quarterback and he has nothing but time, he's going to pick anybody apart.
He's going to tear you, except Eli, because Eli had time this week and didn't do a fucking thing with it.
Well, true. I mean,
on the rollout, he has the tight end in the middle of the field on the 4th and 1 play.
True.
On the rollout down by the goal line, he has Shepard right away. He holds the ball.
Granted, Shepard got tackled before.
No. When he first rolls out.
Yeah.
When he first rolls out, he has Shepard. Watch it again, frame by frame. When he first rolls out, he has Shepard. Just like when he rolls out at midfield on 4th and 1, he has the tight end in the middle of the field. And he doesn't throw the ball. And he holds on to the ball, and he holds on to the ball. And then if you really are watching that play where you say Shepard got tackled, he pulls the ball down, and then Shepard gets hit. So I had no problem with them not calling a penalty on Shepard. The quarterback's out of the pocket. He's holding on to the ball, and he tucked it down, and it was no longer throwing it, and the receiver got blown up. I'm sorry. That's a fair play.
Well, I don't think you can do that, though.
Why not? The quarterback is a runner at that point, Tim.
But you just
He's not in the pocket.
The
quarterback has ran out of the quarterback has ran out of the pocket and pulled the ball down.
Very true, but he's still behind the line of scrimmage. He was still behind the line of scrimmage.
But he's out of the pocket. He's scrambling. It's a rollout play.
But that doesn't mean everybody can get tackled now.
It doesn't, Tim, but watch the way the play happens. Shepard gets hit after he brings the ball down and gets hit. Shepard doesn't get hit while he's rolling out. The play's over and Shepard gets hit. The play's done. He had no chance of getting that ball to Shepard. He had it when he first came out of the roll, but then when he holds on to the ball, the play's done. The defenses catch up with him. Those two plays weren't even the worst two. Do you know the play that I sat up most laughing about on Sunday night?
What was that?
The wheel route that he hit Barkley in the back of the fucking helmet with.
Oh, my God, yeah. I know. It was like, I don't know whose fault that was.
It had to be his fault. Who the fuck? It was obviously a wheel route. Barkley was not anticipating the pass coming that fast. He's running full speed to get to the sideline, and he got hit in the back of the fucking helmet.
You think Eli was just pissed off at that point?
Watch Tim. I know
exactly. I know exactly what play you're talking about.
22, and you swing the camera around. Barkley's gone. He's gone. You wait a second longer, and there wasn't any pressure. You wait a second longer. You're able to loft that ball down the sideline. Barkley runs underneath it. He no longer anticipates. He no longer has a gunslinger mentality. He is not athletic whatsoever, and he is the only quarterback in the league, according to Las Vegas, that gives points to the other team. What are we doing? And if you've come to the conclusion, like most logical Giant fans, that this roster is not good enough to win right now, then why the fuck are we playing Eli Manning?
What's up, James? How are you? I see you're in rare form.
Dude,
his blood pressure just went up.
Oh my God.
No, I'm with you, James. I mean, the fact is, I'd rather have Daniel Jones playing now for the same exact reason. You know what? Let's get the kids some playing time, and let's put Daniel Jones in on those two plays we were talking about. Granted, 3rd and 1. Whoever said let's get cute and try to give it to the fullback for the first down. That was stupid in the first
Should be
place.
fired.
That was just
Should
stupid.
be fired.
You're trying to be a little too cute about it. I would even, you know what? Let's say Saquon was just dead tired. I would have no problem just running Gallman. It's a yard.
The arrogance that they've built this team with, the straight fucking arrogance that they have built this team with, and told everybody they were right about the running back, and told everybody they were right about the quarterback, and told everybody they were right about whatever the fuck decisions that they make. How don't you come out and say, all right, we got our running back. I fixed my offensive line. Stop me.
And the thing is that they couldn't. They also wasn't shutting down Saquon.
You didn't even give them a chance to. You didn't even give them the fucking ball.
You know who shut down Saquon? Shermer.
Pat Shermer.
Yeah.
Guy, I want to try to have people call in through Discord, and I'll pull them in the chat. So I'll go off, but I'll pull them in. I'll work like as a producer. You guys okay with that?
That's cool. Yeah. Whatever. That's fine. Just let us know who's coming on so we don't get just fucking random voices showing up.
Right.
Here's the other thing.
Let me see if I can do this. Hold on.
I want to get your thoughts on this, Tim, because you weren't on the show on Sunday where we do the live reactions. And I said this a couple of times, and I had Justin with me, and Marco popped on for a little bit, so they probably heard it. But there is a minute left in the third quarter. The game is 35-10.
Oh, there's no reason Eli should have been in.
Okay.
No reason.
Can you? What is your thought process behind? Because I'll give you mine. But what is your thought process behind why they would not go to Daniel Jones there?
Honestly, they're probably scared he'll make Eli look bad.
The truth shall set you free. So
that's the only thing I can think of, because at 35-10, and I know exactly what
that. Don't go off of it. Don't go off of it. You're right on the straight and narrow, right? Let's say Daniel Jones comes in the fourth quarter and throws for 130 yards and 2 touchdowns.
All of a sudden, then he should be starting next week. And then that's what they don't want.
Goes ape shit crazy, right?
They don't want that.
Okay, who doesn't want that?
Well, obviously the owners, and they want Eli to actually get his fair shot, or whatever, if you will.
Okay, so now it leads me back to what Mr. Mara said a month ago. Is that in the best long-term interest of the franchise?
No, I understand. I definitely understand what you're saying. And I know exactly what time of the clock you were talking about, because I was saying the same thing.
Why not let him play the entire fourth quarter?
The second Giants were slowing it down. They weren't rushing to the line. They weren't so that you could win the game. Daniel Jones should be in there. Just like every other young guy, anybody that's we need to get some time to should be in that game at that point. If you want to use it, just use it for experience. Even if it's just experience for that game, that's fine, because that can help down the road for guys that are, don't have the field experience. It just makes sense. Even if Daniel Jones didn't even play, if he just played all right and didn't play until, he's not going to play until, let's say, week 5 or whatever the hell it's going to be. He's still getting more experience, and he's still learning. I'm hoping right now, after the fumble, that's at least he'll, start working on his. I hope he goes to Tiki Barber School of not learning how not to fumble.
But and we spoke about that, right? Like I had people say, "Oh yeah, why do you want him in the game so he can fumble some more?" Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I agree with that.
I want him in the game so all of the bad mistakes, all of the errors, all of the bad reads, all of the fumbles, all of the things that he could do better are put on tape so that he can learn from them. When you have a rookie quarterback, bad sometimes equals good. When they put bad on tape, you're able to go and sit down with them with a coach and say, okay, here's what you did. What did you see? Here's what I saw. Did you see this? No, I didn't see that, coach. Next time, fucking see that. Now you've learned. Now go apply it. Right?
Yeah.
But you have to be in the shit
Well,
You know,
from what I saw on film already.
Allen said something today that was really eye-opening to me. You know, last year they started the season with Peterman, right?
Yeah.
I think Peterman had like 24 attempts, maybe one game, and then Josh Allen was in, something like that, right?
Peterman had like a 6-interception game.
No, that was in 2017. I argued with somebody about that today. That was in 2017. Tyrod Taylor came in to take his job or come in for him after that. I had that a little bit mixed up on Twitter today when I was talking. I thought that's what this guy was referring to. It wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
It was last year in 2018. So Allen comes out today and says, you know, I learned more by being thrown in the fire. And this idiot on Twitter starts laughing and saying, yeah, you were thrown in the fire. Nathan Peterman had 18 pass attempts before you were thrown in. He played 15 games. He was thrown in the fucking fire. What he said was that he learned more from that experience when the bullets were flying.
And that's what me and James have talked about it on the podcast before. I've come around on Josh Allen. We weren't big fans of him before.
I was not a big fan of him before. I
love the way he played last year, and he had no one around him. There's no receivers at all around him. Did he have a running game? I guess LaShawn McCoy when he was healthy, he had that running game, but receivers had nothing.
No,
and right now his receivers aren't anything special either. Now,
no, and I completely agree with you. But he is showing some progress. Like he played an awful 3 quarters against the Jets, but when it was time to make plays, he made some plays.
Yep. It's like our old boy Eli used to do. When it comes fourth quarter. The fourth quarter.
That progression of a quarterback, man.
Yep.
And you got to let them play to get to that point. I know I get shit on with Darnold all the time. Darnold had a phenomenal December because he was able to work through the kinks and have a rough couple of months before that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, gents, I think I figured it out. I'm gonna throw Ned on. Ready? See if this works. Let's see if this works.
Ned, who I beat in fantasy this week.
Is he on?
Hi.
Hey, what's up, Ned?
Not a whole lot. Just the entire fucking team on fire. Yeah, Zeitler's injured.
God damn, man. Between James' anger and your depression right now, I don't know if I'm going to make it through the show.
I mean, to be fair, Zeitler has said that he thinks he'll be ready for the game, but that's what everybody fucking says.
And how about that depth behind him?
Yeah, well, that's sort of the issue, is that's non-existent.
Yeah.
No, you know what? I like the Nick Gates. The Nick Gates. I'm a fan. I root for the kid.
I will tell you who I am more excited to see this week than anybody on the roster. The skipper.
Oh God. Tupaz.
The skipper. Go watch that kid play. First of all, Pittsburgh is linebacker you.
Yeah.
All right?
I'll give you that.
That come out of Pittsburgh are phenomenal. They have a way. When you watch this kid play in the preseason, and yeah, he's playing against backup, but he has a violence to the way he plays. There is a violent streak in the way he plays. You know how sometimes you look at some runners and you're like, wow, that guy runs violent. He runs angry. This guy plays angry. And he always seems to be around the ball. Wherever he is, it seems to be a fumble. He's forcing a fumble. He's getting a sack. He's making a play. He's getting his hands on the ball. I'm very excited because I don't think the linebackers we have are very good. So I'm very excited to see how this kid can come in and maybe be a catalyst to try to get some pressure on people. I don't think that their pass rushers are very good at all. So to be able to have a kid that has some violence in him, that has some good moves in him, that can get to the quarterback in one-on-one situations, I'm curious to see how they use this kid. And I'm really curious to see if his talent was based off of the preseason competition he was playing against, or if there's really something to this kid that he has some skill. And if you look into this kid, he's a leader. He's a good citizen. People like him in the locker room. I think this kid has a real chance to stick, and I'm cheering for him.
I hope he does. And the fact is that this is the big test this week. Just so you're curious, I want to see if this pass rush did we just get shut down by a good offensive line, or is this pass rush just going to be non-existent all year?
It's going to be non-existent all year, Tim.
I'm hoping that's not the case. I hope it didn't seem like Betcher wanted to blitz either. It seemed like people were playing scared.
No, but he's terrified he knows he has to blitz and knows he can't. What would you do? I have to blitz to get pressure on the quarterback, but if I leave these guys in man-to-man, oh, shit.
You know what?
The team isn't good enough. The team isn't good enough yet.
We'll find out. I mean,
that's not blasphemy. It's not sacrilege. It's reality. The team 1 through 53 is nowhere near where we need them to be to seriously compete for a playoff spot and a Super Bowl. So again, I ask you, what point does it fucking make to play Eli Manning and not Daniel Jones? And everyone, all you Giant fans, all you E-Hive members that are screaming that it wasn't Eli's fault, listen very fucking closely. No one is saying it is. He's the best quarterback this franchise has ever seen. But we took a quarterback at 6, and the roster blows. So, if you agree with the owner that we make best decisions for this franchise in the best long-term interest, then you tell me, what's in the best long-term interest? Seeing the kid we took at 6 that we passed on Josh Allen for because we were told that Eli's fine and the defense is the problem? Or seeing the kid we took at 6 play?
Well, right now you got the old trade rumors swirling. Does Eli go to Tom Coughlin now that Nick Foles is out?
Let me ask you something. Did you watch Gardner Minshew play?
Yeah, he looked good.
Okay, if you were the Jaguars, would you want Gardner Minshew to play or Eli fucking Manning?
Minshew by far.
Minshew by far. I'm sorry. It's not 2011 anymore. It's not even 2007 fucking teen anymore. I don't know where you're getting someone to trade for him. I don't know who's making that fucking call.
Tom.
The only one
I don't think Tom would want him.
The only thing I can think of would honestly be the fucking Broncos, and that's because Eli is like a marginal upgrade on Flacco.
But let me ask you something. If you're Denver, right? You're looking at your roster in Denver. Why the fuck am I giving up an asset to get Eli Manning? Is he the piece that's going to get me over the top?
I mean, it's John Elway. You never fucking know. He thought Paxton Lynch was a good quarterback.
Yeah, but regardless of who he thought was a good quarterback, he got those quarterbacks in the draft. You're giving up an asset and you're paying salary to a guy when your roster isn't good enough to compete?
Nah, Denver just drafted Locke on top of it.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
I know Locke.
We can go through each team in the league. It doesn't make sense for them to want him.
No, I agree. This is Eli's last run. His last book of Eli. You know what?
Tim,
it is what it is.
And here's the heartbreaking part of this. This is not going to end well here for Eli Manning.
Well, that's the only bad part is the greatest quarterback of the Giants ever is probably going to get booed, and people are going to be, yelling for Daniel Jones to get out of the field.
Do you think
for that day to happen?
Do you think he ends up with an under 500 record?
Yeah, I don't think there's any way that he can end up with an under. Who are they beating?
The Bills.
I'm going to tell you
Buffalo.
right now, although you're saying, like, oh, man, this isn't really how we want Eli to come out. It wouldn't surprise me if management. I don't think ownership has this attitude, but it would not surprise me if management would want a sort of clamoring for Daniel Jones.
There's already a faction in the building. Diana Rossini reported before the season started that you're having the same problems in the building that you had with hide your ears, close your ears, Giant fans, Reese and McAdoo.
Oh my God.
You're having the same issues in the building that management had with Reese and McAdoo. The football people are saying, let's play Daniel Jones. Management is saying Eli Manning. So when this team, if this team starts 2-4, 1-5, 0-6, it's going to be a fucking bloodbath. They better win this weekend, and they better win next weekend. Because if this team is 1-2, 1-3, 0-3, so it's going to be a fucking bloodbath. And then good luck staying with Eli Manning till November. You're going to make Eli the villain.
They will, and it's because
I can't fucking wait.
I can tell you right now, this is what management wants to happen. They want Eli to be semi-successful and make it to the bye week, and then they want to put in Daniel Jones because the first team they go up against is Arizona. So that's honestly probably exactly what they're thinking is, can we get Eli Manning to last to the bye week? And the answer realistically is probably no.
Well, that was my prediction from the get-go. I said see you in November.
I agree with that on top of it. I always said they're going to wait till the bye week to put Daniel Jones in.
But what I'm saying is, but here's what I'm saying, and it goes a lot deeper than just the comment in a blanket statement. The owner told us that he makes decisions. He was annoyed when it was implied that his decisions are made over sentimental value. He was annoyed by it. Visibly.
Mm-hmm.
He said that they make decisions for the long-term best interest of the franchise. If this team goes 1-4, 1-5, if they're not competitive to the bye week, how could you possibly stick with Eli Manning and not have shit all over your face?
Very true.
Something has to give. Either this team has to start winning or they got a problem.
Oh, I agree. But here's the thing that people got to realize too. And I understand we didn't look good at all. But it's week one against Dallas. It was Dallas is supposed to be a top contender. They're a good team, obviously. So, you know what? Let's see. I want to gauge this team now that they're going to be at home against Buffalo.
Tim, they went 2 for 12 on third down. Eli hit Barkley in the back of the fucking helmet on a wheel route. He didn't throw the ball twice to two open receivers, one which would have been a touchdown, the other one which would have been a first down on a 4th and 1 that would have got them in the scoring position. I mean, what the fuck else? Why do we think that that's going to change? Why do we think that all of a sudden it's going to be 2011 again? Have we not seen enough bad football from Eli Manning in the last 3 years to maybe actually think that this is just the product that he is right now?
I'm not even fighting that. I'm with you as far as I want Daniel Jones playing. I saw what he could do, and just on those plays we talked about, like the 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1. If Daniel Jones rolled out, he would have got the first down.
Well, maybe he would have thrown the fucking ball to the open guy. Maybe he throws the ball to the open guy and it sails over the fucking guy's head and gets intercepted. I don't care.
You want to go to the next caller?
Let's go to the next caller. Let's see what they got. Let's see what our callers want to talk about for the next couple of minutes here.
All right, let's go to Yankee King. Let's see, Yankee King, move. What's
Yankee
up, brother?
King.
You're on.
What's up, baby?
What's up?
What's up? Talk to us. What do you want to talk about?
What's up? Hang on. Let me turn down my TV.
Turn down your radio.
Please.
All right.
That's required.
Okay, wait. Okay.
Yeah, Yankee King. Shoot.
Okay. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but
Go ahead.
this whole thing is racked up to being back in 2018, the mistake of 2018. To not trade OBJ before you signed him, to not trade Sterling Shepard, to not trade that second overall pick. That's what they should have done when Dave Gettleman got here. When Dave Gettleman got here, he should have convinced John Mara to blow it up. Because we are not a good team. This is a terrible team. On field. I'm with you. I mean, am I wrong?
No,
no, you guys aren't wrong. But I'm gonna tell you right now.
You're 100% right, and I agree with you. I think for the most part that it, and again, Giant fans, like, take a deep breath and take a step back. No one is saying that Saquon Barkley is not a phenomenal football player. No one's saying that. The guy's an all-world talent. He's unbelievable. He's the best running back in the league, and we can't win a fucking game. So I agree with you completely. In 2018, they assessed the situation wrong. The situation is they thought they could have won, and that team was ready to win. That's why they picked Saquon Barkley. He thought that was the missing piece. When in reality, there should have been three options with that number 2 pick. You either took the quarterback, you either took a pass rusher in Bradley Chubb, or you traded the pick back. And I completely agree with you about last year that there was no reason to sign OBJ when they did. And I fought with these guys tooth and nail over that. And then they have to sign him. No, they didn't. They didn't have to sign him at all. They had control over him for that year, the option year, and 2 more seasons with the franchise tag. So management was suckered by OBJ's good behavior for 2 or 3 months and handed him a new contract, which came back and bit us in the ass. There has been so many wrong decisions made between Gettleman getting the job and now that look at this roster. What improvements has he made? Where is this team so vastly improved?
First of all,
don't tell me that it's only been 2 years, because if he handles the 2018 draft the right way, this team looks a lot fucking different now than they would have if they did it the right way.
Okay, I will get back to that part of the question. First, as far as the OBJ, give him the extension. He had more trade value because he already had the extension.
Wrong.
Yes,
You're 100%
he did.
wrong. You're wrong, Tim. You're wrong.
Why would he have less?
He had more trade value. The Rams were willing to give up 2 firsts. He had more trade value that year before the contract because then he came back and got hurt again. And then he was making $20 million on top of being hurt again. And on top of the ESPN interview.
Well, as far as the 2 firsts, that whatever. That's pretty much second round picks.
Well, regardless, Tim.
Rams the top team.
Regardless.
We still got a first round pick out of it.
Tim, you're talking about getting 2 firsts from the Rams and then trading 2 back. How different and how much more talent is on this roster with just those 2 things happening?
That's my point. Okay, let's say we trade back the Saquon pick. So we don't have Saquon. Well, let's say we trade back whatever. Let's say we end up getting Bradley Chubb.
Austin Eckler.
Yeah, what about him?
It just shows that you can get a running back anywhere.
I understand that. But Saquon's, you just said, is the best in the league.
Yeah, but what does that get you for a running back, Tim? If the rest of the team is bad, what does a good running back get you?
Well, it doesn't do anything if you aren't using it. That's number one.
They used Barry Sanders a lot in Detroit. How'd that work out for them?
He carried it in the playoffs.
Did they ever do anything in the playoffs?
Well, I understand that, but
okay.
But as far as the Gettleman only being here 2 years, that's my thing. He had to clean up this roster. He had to clean up the cap space.
But he did it the wrong way, Tim. He did it the wrong way.
Cap, here's the thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
He did a thing that you never do as a GM. He GM'd with his heart.
There you go.
You cannot do that in the National Football League, in the NHL, baseball, soccer, basketball. Well, you could probably do it in basketball, but that's the only sport you could do it in. That's it.
Yeah.
Football.
No, I agree with you. His arrogance and how he thought check the resume and I'm right and I've been doing this a long time and blah blah. Sorry, Dave, you're wrong.
The only thing I can say he did with his heart, I'll say two moves. Obviously, keeping Eli on the roster. That's
I don't even
obviously
think that was his decision.
But
I think Dave Gettleman's a fucking. I think Dave Gettleman is Pinocchio and John Mara is Geppetto. And I honestly don't think that there was a full-fledged, realistic search for a general manager either.
No, yeah, that's absolutely true.
No, it's basically, are you building around Eli? No, fuck off.
There you go.
That's basically what happened.
It didn't even get to that. You're going to keep Eli, you're hired. They only interviewed like 2 people.
I truly believe that. I really, really do. And it's a sin because it means that the owner is fucking lying to us. When you look at his comments over the last month, and if you're really planning for the long-term best interest of the franchise, John, you're a fucking liar or you're stupid. And either way, you should sell.
And here's the thing. You see that guy on the screen? He shouldn't be wearing that jersey. Not saying Saquon was a bad pick. Saquon's a bad player. Saquon is our best running back we probably have seen ever. And wear that uniform. But he's in the wrong uniform. Let's call it fade here.
And I think Saquon he's a great player, but I think it was the wrong pick. And I think it was the wrong pick because of the team that we had at the time. I think that you could, like, if they thought that team was going to win a Super Bowl, you saw what happened. They won 5 games.
And the locker room broke down. OBJ, Eli Apple, Jenkins, Collins.
Instead of trading all of those guys, he could have. Tim, remember when you told me in 2018 when you said, "What are you going to do? Trade everybody?" Yeah.
Well, I would have done the same thing.
That was the time to do it because you had the number 2 pick in the draft. You had a chance to reshape and reface this franchise from head to toe. You had a chance to wipe the slate clean. Instead, we've wasted a year, and now we'll see what happens this year.
Well, here's the thing with that. I think they did. They changed this locker room around, and they're building around Saquon.
Tim, you're supposed to build around your quarterback.
Yeah, not a running back.
Well, I understand that, but now they got Daniel Jones, and
but he's not playing.
Okay, it's week 1. We knew he wasn't playing week 1.
I don't. They're wrong for not playing him week 1. We've just established that the roster sucks. Why do I have a 38-year-old making $23 million fucking quarterbacking? Could I have not used that $16 million that I would have got before cutting him on June 1st? Could I have not have used that to maybe, I don't know, sign a right tackle who's not like on his deathbed like Remmers? Or a linebacker?
Or
a safety who's not older than a fucking dinosaur?
But here's the thing here's what I think. How long is Saquon until he breaks? I've said this in the offseason. How long will it take for Saquon to just break?
When he doesn't touch the ball, it's going to be a while.
But if he doesn't touch the ball, then you're an idiot for taking him at 2. And if you're going to use him how he should be used if you took him at 2, I wouldn't want to give him a second contract.
No,
I would
will he
give.
take it? No, James, here's the thing. Will he take the second contract? Because if we're using him like this for his contracts, like, you barely used me. I'm walking somewhere else.
Well, that's the $1 million question. I don't know. I don't know that he would do that. I think we need to see how he's used for the rest of the year. But I think that what you are looking at is if Saquon's representation is smart, then they're looking at what's going on in the league, and they're saying, we're not going to the fourth year of the contract. Like, you're going to have to re-us up going into year 4 because my guy's not playing for the 1-year option. So
That's
you're
true.
going to be looking at a very similar predicament as the Le'Veon Bell thing, as Melvin Gordon, as Ezekiel Elliott, where the running backs know that if they don't get paid now, they may never get paid. And I don't blame them for doing that. I don't blame Zeke. I don't blame Melvin because those guys are used and pounded into the ground, and then the team is able to just say, okay, goodbye. So I don't blame those guys for needing to get their money. And I'm not going to blame Saquon when he needs to get his. I'm going to blame the team for not assessing that position does not win you football games. So why am I paying him all this money for?
Yeah, because how long is a running back's window? 22 to what? 32 max, maybe?
You're looking at 5 to 6 years, man. You got to remember, if he touches the ball 350 times over the course of 5 years, dude, 2,000 touches? That's a lot
That's already
for a guy
starting
to
to
get.
break them
Those
down.
running backs take a fucking beating. They get pounded.
Yep.
And you're saying that but we're assuming that he's healthy for the next 2 years straight and then has that conversation. Like, what if he gets banged up? What if it becomes a Melvin Gordon situation where he gets hurt a little bit? He's going to want that contract quicker.
Yep. His representation this Saquon Barkley situation scares me for the next couple of years.
It should.
Because I want that guy in the in a Giants uniform.
Salary cap and analytics, we can go and show you how it does not matter who's playing the running back position. It does not matter. If the rest of your team is good and your quarterback is good, you can get away with any running back in the fucking league.
Let's say the 2019-2020 season. I'm not worried about Saquon getting extended. We'll cross that bridge when we have to. That's whatever. Why am I worried about it for 3 years from now?
I think that some of these Giant fans have a really. Do you understand what's going on? Like, the team sucks. To think that this team now, let's go to next year, right?
Yeah.
Give you your draft class, give you your free agency. You got a rookie quarterback.
Yeah.
Hasn't played this year. He's going to be playing for the majority.
Well, that's
another year gone. It's another year gone. You've wasted the first 3 years of Saquon Barkley's career. They're gone.
I'm going to tell you right now. So far, he's 1 for 1. We played one game.
He's all for one.
Daniel Jones played one game.
Tim, what the fuck are you talking about?
Didn't even play one game. He played one down. He played one basically down. He played one series. That's it.
Well, I'm just saying, he's got PT already in one game. He's already got PT.
What does that fucking mean? It was 2 minutes left in a game that meant nothing.
Exactly.
They had a chance to get him a whole quarter, Tim. You think they're just going to keep going to this fucking guy?
Oh, eventually they're just going to go to him permanently.
Eventually. When does that happen, Tim? And even if that happens in let's say that happens in week 12 this year.
Yeah.
Is that enough time for him to be to the point where you're comfortable going in to start the season with him next year?
I would say so.
Oh God, you're playing with yourself, dude. I can't drink that Kool-Aid. You need to see him for a full 16 games. It takes quarterbacks 10, 12 games for the game just to start slowing down.
I understand that.
So again, If you don't see him till late this year, and it's going to take him a full year, and if we're being fair as fans, next year is the year that we're going to start to get a really good assessment on Daniel Jones.
100%.
I need to see him starting games, starting and finishing, not coming in the fourth quarter when a game's in hand. You might as well be playing in preseason. It's a fucking prevent defense. So again, you wasted the first year of Saquon's contract. This year, the team is bad, and we're going to see Eli for at least 8 to 9 weeks, which means fuck the playoffs this year. It's not happening. So here's year 2 of Saquon's contract. Gone. Now it's year 3. Here comes Daniel Jones. He's going to go through some rough spots. It's not going to be, just slide him in and let's go. So if you're thinking realistically that they have a chance to win a Super Bowl with what's going to pretty much be a rookie quarterback, next year, you're on crack. It's going to be a year where they're progressing and getting better and building. So now it's been 3 years. Daniel Jones has played 1 year.
Okay.
You have to sign Saquon Barkley to a $120 million contract.
Maybe.
Not maybe. Definitely.
Well, listen. In your defense, I'm gonna do the same thing I did with OG. Oh, what you said with OBJ. Hey, listen, I got control of you for the next 4 years. Do what you got to do.
You cried and shit when I said that about OBJ, and now you're gonna fucking defend it and use that position for fucking Barkley of all people.
I'm
just saying. Good Samaritan.
Yeah, he's a fucking running back. Screw it.
For the older boy, Tim, I would have never taken him. You're making my point for me.
No, I'm just giving you shit because you guys are worried about 5 years from now.
Yeah, because the team's not good. That's when they're going to be ready to win.
Not necessarily.
Yeah, not necessarily, Tim. It's reality. Join us.
Let's say we have another shitty year this year. Then if another shitty year next year, guess what? The new GM is going to be a new coach. All the things are going to be cleared out again. So we're going to start right back to square one.
That's why I'm worried. We've just wasted 3 years. When in 2017, like the caller said, at the 2018 draft, this whole thing could have been completely different.
Guys, can you hear me?
This is why you guys yelled at me and said, how long are you going to harp on this? How long? Because I saw it coming.
You're still not giving it a chance.
Tim, look at the guys on the roster.
I have. They're just young. We got a lot of talent on this roster.
Year? Nothing.
We got a lot of talent on this roster. You got to let them grow.
I don't think there's as much talent as you think there is.
I think there's a lot more talent.
When you get to training camp and there's 4th and 5th round picks climbing the depth chart, I think that really speaks to more of the talent that you had on the roster more than their talent.
Ready to go to the next caller?
I'm ready, baby.
All right, Dino's up next.
Okay, here we go.
Here we go.
Yeah, well, Saquon's beast, bro.
What's up, D?
Yo.
You're on, brother.
What's up, bud?
Who's on?
You're on with James and Tim.
Oh, both of us, huh? You got the double dipper?
Yeah.
What's going on, gentlemen?
What's up, buddy?
Hey, this is Dino, by the way. Long time no talk for you guys.
Oh, we know exactly who it is.
All right. just letting you know, I've been listening. I've just been busy, but I'm going to just put my 2 cents in and hang the fuck up because I know I'm going to get burned.
Probably.
So, listen, all right? A lot of people say it ain't Eli's fault. And we all know who've known me on the show for a while. I've always been a positive for Eli, but the guy just doesn't have it anymore. And then you bring Daniel Jones in and he fumbles. We have no O-line. Barkley still manages to get 120 yards on the ground. All right? The defense couldn't cover a Pop Warner fucking football team, neither the less of a regular, you know what I mean? There's no way this team is going to go anywhere near 500 football, in my opinion. I love the team to death. Now we're looking at no Sterling Shepard this week. No Tate for another 3 weeks. So what's it going to be? The Barkley and Ingram show? They're just going to double up Ingram and stack the box, dude. And then what are we going to do? Put that putrid defense out there to get torched? I mean, I read on Twitter people said that Jenkins and DeAndre Baker looked good. I watched the tape. There was times when Baker wasn't even around the ball, looking in the stands. It looked like. Janoris
Jenkins is a waste too. Jenkins is a fucking waste. Jenkins is a fucking waste.
Jenkins got burned so many times on those deep out routes. He was even getting burned on slants.
I would be on the phone. I would be on the phone if I'm Gettleman, and I would be on the phone with any fucking team I thought was a contender that needed cornerback spot, and I would be like, hey, I'll pay his fucking salary. Just give me a draft pick. Get him out of here.
Yeah, but as what he's put on tape so far, in a team going shot in the dark with that guy right now. Well, look what Eli Apple looked like for the Saints. I mean, he was even worse. So why don't we just give the Saints another shitty cornerback, give us another 4th round pick, and call it a day?
Well, Eli Apple had a tough game the other night, but if you go look at Eli Apple's numbers last year, he fucking played pretty well for the Saints when he got out of New York.
He did.
He played pretty fucking well.
That was just the change of scenery, blah, 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 blah. Now he's coming back into Mr. Eli Apple. It showed last night. I mean, numerous times he got burned, but who cares about
He had good coverage on Fuller. Fuller just made a hell of a fucking play.
I will give him that. Yes,
he was right there. I mean, the fucking guy had to reach over Apple to fucking grab the ball. That was just a great catch.
He was on his hip, but there were times when Apple got turned around 3-4 times. And remember, he was a 1st round pick from us. But I mean,
I know.
As far as this team, I would absolutely love. I know this is going outside the box. I haven't been listening the whole show, but why don't we go back to a 4-3? Get some better fucking defensive linemen.
It's too late. They can't do that now.
It's the first game of the season. I mean,
yeah, but
we went 0-2 with Spags.
Dino, but all your personnel. Yeah, but they didn't change the fucking defense when they did that.
Well,
like
they
just got better.
Linebackers, put them standing up.
Like you can't say that we're going to go to a 3-4 at the beginning of 2018 and then build for that 3-4 for the offseason of 2018 and 2019, and then have a bad game to start off 2019 and say, okay, now we're going to go back to a 4-3.
No, I totally understand that, and I totally respect that and understand your opinion, but I just felt that the Giants were more dominant on defense when they were running the 4-3.
But they won more dominant on defense when they had good players.
3-4.
The scheme doesn't matter. You need fucking players.
Yeah, we definitely do.
If you don't have, you could have the nastiest NASCAR package drawn up on paper with blitzes and a way to get to the quarterback. And if it's me, you, and Tim lined up trying to get there against the fucking Bills offensive line, we're gonna have trouble.
Yes, we are.
All right, okay. So, but if you put Aaron Donald and fucking some other players in there that have some talent, do you think that may look different?
I think we need. I think we need
talent.
We need outside rushers, man. We need Alec.
And here comes the skipper.
Alec Ogletree looked like shit yesterday. I don't know if anybody brought that up, but there was numerous plays where Witten was just like, "Boom, give me the ball," like.
What about Jarwin Banks? Jarwin Banks scored 3 touchdowns in the season finale game last year, and then wide open down the seam this year. How the fuck did that happen?
That was so open. Like my grandma could have covered that fucking.
And if you watch the play, Dak actually fumbles the ball a little bit, and then still just gets it up because the guy's so fucking wide open that he's just, hey, you take it.
He was shocked that he was so open.
Yeah. He's like, holy shit, I got to get the ball out of my hand. And he just shot putting it to him because he was so fucking wide open.
Yeah. And there was nobody within 15, 20 yards from him.
And same on the Cobb touchdown. Just breakdowns.
I've seen worse Giants football. Trust me, we've all have. But I just do not see that chemistry, that spark. I mean, I would love to say we're going to win the Super Bowl, but I don't even see an 8-8 team. I don't even see a 7-9 team right now. And it's sad to say it. I'm not trying to bash the Giants. I'm a diehard Giants fan, but at the rate they're playing, I mean, but what's up? The first drive, they looked unstoppable. And then they turned into the Tom Coughlin, Kevin Gilbride Giants, conservative. They stopped running Saquon. It just didn't get done.
They handed the ball to their best player on the first drive.
Yeah, and then why they stopped though is what I want to know.
Dude, I can't figure it out.
That's a $1 million question.
That's what we, according to Pat Shermer today in the press conference, it takes a village to run an offense. It's an actual quote. It's a village. The offense
How
is a
large
village.
of a village is he talking? I mean,
I don't know. We'd have to go to Shermer for that. But according to our head coach, right, when we asked why don't we use the guy that was touched by the hand of God as many times as we should have? He only had 12 carries, 12 touches. Why, Pat? Why? Well, because it takes a village. It really does. It takes a head coach to run a fucking team, Pat. What are you?
Defense. We could use the whole village on fucking defense then. Fuck an 11-man front. Let's get 35 guys in here, and we'd still be giving up bombs down the field.
Well, I think Shermer is in
it will
over
be
his head.
okay. It's week one. It was Dallas. And it was week one. We didn't play like the worst team in the league. We played one of the top teams in the league at their house on week one.
Tim, it's a division game. Tim, it's a division game on the road.
I understand that, but we'll be okay. We are young.
90%
of our team, that was our first game ever.
I'm going to have to talk you off the ledge come week 9.
First of all, you're by week 9, you're probably going to have a heart attack.
Tim, no, I'm not going to have a heart attack by week 9. I'm sitting here. I mean, this makes me sick, but I take solace in the fact that laughing at all these people that told me that this team was going to be good. But you know.
No, but I agreed. We agreed from the beginning. This team should be a ground and pound team, and get the defense out there as little time as possible. Granted, the defense looked a lot worse in the week 1 than I anticipated, but it's also the first time they've all been together in a game.
You guys ready for the next call?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yes, sir.
All right, we got Julian jumping on.
Julian,
I think this is the first time, long time right here.
Oh, first time, long timer, huh?
Yeah, let's see.
We'll
Julian, you there?
Oh, hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah, what's going on, Julian?
Hey, what's going on? Hey, I agree with almost everything the host is saying right now, man. I've been one OBJ or whatever you want to call him gone for years now because I seen what he was going to become, and I'm like, listen, we need to get rid of him now while his value is high, and to me, that's the best way to get value back. And for them to sign him, I think was negligent. I think it was stupid. And then you trade him, and you don't get the true value that you were supposed to get for him.
Nope.
And as far as this not running Barkley thing this year, he did it last year. You kind of seen him do it last year in the Eagles game when he was torching the Eagles, and then all of a sudden he stopped. So I'm like, man, I hope he doesn't do this thing all the time with this guy. He's a great talent, but come on, man, you got to give the man the ball. If you're going to draft him number 2 and you say he's a Hall of Fame talent, you got to draft. You got to give him the ball. And I don't understand, like, the moves he made on defense. It was just, I don't know, man. The young defense, I think
we said if they were going to win in Dallas, they had to do it. We even referenced the Cowboys from a couple of years ago, and we said, the Romo got hurt and Dak was the quarterback the first year. How did that team had a really bad defense? Their defense was not as good as they are right? So what did they do to be competitive and get to the playoffs that year? Well, they ran the ball down teams' throat. They gave the ball to Zeke a million fucking times. They shortened the game. They got a lead, and then they continued to run the football. And they said, stop us. They didn't try gimmick plays. They didn't try rollouts on 3rd and 1. They handed the ball to Zeke and said, stop us. We have a better line than your defensive line. Stop us. We have a better running back and you have linebackers. Stop us. And the Giants on Sunday had every opportunity. They marched downfield. They set the tone. Even with the Cowboys coming back and tying the game at 7, there was no reason to get away from the running game.
To run it down their throat.
And on 3rd and 1, here's my best player. And if you stop him on 3rd and 1, you're going to have to stop him on 4th and 1 because here comes Saquon Barkley coming at you again.
That's right. That's right.
You don't roll out your non-athletic quarterback to make a play. Cut the field in half for a guy that has problems when he sees the whole fucking field missing guys. You cut the field in half and you're rolling out a guy that can't run. What the fuck's going on?
I'm a little old school. See, what I like to do is I'm going to run it down your throat until you stop me. All right. And Dallas didn't show the ability to stop us. So therefore, I'm going to keep running it, and I'm going to keep running it. I'm going to keep running it, and then I'll throw a little action in there till you stop me. Okay?
I agree with you.
And I'm like, okay, well, now you're going to the passing game. You're going to this short passing game. What are you doing, Sherman? What are you doing? Because now you're just feeding into Dallas's hands, and it just didn't make any sense.
What do you guys think? I mean, I would hope this is true. I think this would be great. Diana Rossini a couple of weeks ago reports that the football people in the Giants facility want Jones to play. That upper management is all about Eli. So there's a fraction in the organization, much like there was a couple of years ago. There's been reports that say that Shermer would prefer Jones over Eli. We saw Shermer last year a bunch of times on the sideline, jumping up and down, saying, throw Odell the ball. He's open. Throw the ball, Eli. What part of you thinks, and I'd be curious to get this from a fan's perspective, right? So what do you think that maybe Shermer's giving a little middle finger to John Mara and saying, John, here's your guy throwing the ball 40 times a game. Take a look.
It's possible he's doing that.
It's possible that he is doing that. I'm going to put this guy in fucking plays that's going to expose him.
Right. It's possible he's doing that. And I'm going to be honest. I wasn't down with the Jones pick at first. I really wasn't.
You're not alone. You're not alone. You're not alone.
Right. I wanted Josh Allen when he was there. I'm like, there's not too many times where in a draft need meets, best player available. And
especially at 6, where the guy drops to you.
Right. But after seeing Jones during the preseason, I'm like, there might be something there to work with. There might be something. So I'm kind of coming around a little bit, slowly but surely. But as far as your point is, I definitely think he's like, you know what? I'm going to have Eli throw 40, 50 times a game.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to see what I've been telling you, what we should have been doing, is putting Jones in.
And think about it from Shermer's perspective, where if you're confident that you're going to get the chance to coach with Daniel Jones going into next year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why am I going to waste Saquon Barkley this year? I'll give him the ball 12, 13 times. I'll have Eli throw a bunch of times. You can look and see right from your box, Mr. Mara, how this is a complete clusterfuck. And then you tell me what you want me to do next year. Right? Like I'm going to have him throw 40 times. He's going to complete 30 for 300 yards because all he does is check it down.
You know what? But it's actually maddening as a fan watching it, man. Because I'm like, I thought Eli was done 3 years ago, and now I have to watch him go through this, throw 40, 50 times. And, I think, and this is just my personal opinion, I think Eli has a form of PTSD of some kind. Because he flinches all the time when people's not around his feet, pressuring him. I really think that he has a form of PTSD. And in 2017, when this whole thing went bad, they had a chance they had a golden opportunity to go to Eli in a very respectful way and say, Eli, what you have done for this franchise has been amazing. You are the greatest quarterback that has ever played for this franchise. Okay. No one is disputing that. No one could take that away from you. We're grateful. There's going to be a bust of you in Canton. It's been great since we drafted you. But Eli, you're 36 years old.
I got a kid that we just took in the third round sitting behind you, right? I
Right.
need to see this kid play. Okay.
Right.
And I got 6 quarterbacks coming up that could be first rounders in the next draft. Okay. I have to evaluate where this franchise is going in the next 10 to 12 years as opposed to your window. Right. So, Eli, I come to you saying, I'm going to do what I need to do for the best long term interest of the franchise, or I can let you and your agent go out, talk to any general manager you want,
Right.
come up with a trade, and we'll make it work out of respect for you and what you've done for this franchise. Is that not a better ending for Eli Manning than what's going to fucking happen now?
It would have been. It
It would,
would
I
have.
mean, you could. I mean, Joe Montana didn't retire a 49er. His brother didn't retire a Colt. I mean,
Right.
sometimes franchises have to make difficult decisions, and if that's the case, then you can handle it with class, and you give the guy a big going away and thank you
Right.
for all you've done. But this is in your best interest, and it's in the team's best interest, and there's
Es-
nothing wrong with that. That's business.
Especially when you see the diminished skills. That's my thing. It's like you can actually tangibly see the
Yeah, but
diminished.
Julian, they're trying to sell us that the skills aren't diminished. We've heard for the last 2 years that it's not Eli. He's fine. Right? I
I,
mean that was, I mean, last year we heard it was the defense, and then you couldn't take Darnold, right, in 2018
right.
because he was going to sit on the bench the whole year. But
Right.
then you tell us the defense is the problem and Eli's fine, and then you pass on Allen, who would have helped the defense while you're bringing Eli back, and take the
Oh,
kid that's going to sit on the bench and not play. What the fuck is going on?
it's a shit show. That's what's going on. And they're selling us a bag of shit, and they expect us to eat it up. I don't understand it. And I'm in several Giants groups, and I'm arguing with everybody who's a Eli fan. What do you call them?
The
Ehives?
Eli.
That is classic. And I'm like, listen, man, he's done, man. Y'all gotta realize he's almost 39 years old. He's gonna be 39 this year. And I
And
understand that you
tell
love
you what
him.
they tell you what they tell me, that I hate Eli Manning and I'm not a Giants fan?
Yes, I'm not a Giants fan. I should find another team.
Mm-hmm.
I should move on. You know, the regular he has every excuse. You know, Eli's bulletproof for them.
Oh,
Eli's
hands down.
completely bulletproof. And
And they
he
all
can't
come
do
out of the
anything
fucking
wrong.
woodwork. The minute you say one bad thing,
That's it.
they
That's
come
it.
buzzing,
There's an
baby.
argument. And it's crazy, but I'm over Eli, man. I've been over him for years now because I've seen him diminish. I've seen his skills just diminish, and he just doesn't see the field. You mentioned a play earlier that I was just like I got into several arguments about where I think it was 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, or he did that rollout, and the tight end or whoever it was wide open. I mean, there was
Middle of the field.
nobody around him. I
Middle of the
mean,
field.
you had Jalen Smith who was sort of in the way, but I'm like, listen, if you're an NFL quarterback, all
You can
right,
make that throw.
you can make that throw. There's
Yeah,
no doubt in my mind you can make that throw. And if you
100%.
can't make that throw,
You
guess
shouldn't be
what?
playing.
You shouldn't be playing.
There you go. Bottom line.
Right.
Bottom line. He comes out of the break. It's clear as day that the
Yes.
tight end dragging across from the weak side of the formation is going to be wide open in the middle of the field. There's no anticipation, and he's scared to throw the ball. On the play where they were closer to the goal line, where he comes rolling out, if he makes that throw when he turns his head, and he's
As
ready to
soon as
throw
he
when he turns his head, he has Shepard.
But he's been doing that for years, though. He has been
I, I,
doing
I
that.
agree with you. He just holds the ball. He's scared to throw it, and then it's a clusterfuck.
Like, if you notice, it was a couple of plays last year. They would do the fake to Saquon. I think it was last year. Do the fake to Saquon. He rolls out, and he's waiting forever to throw to a wide open player. I'm like, what is he waiting for? Throw him the ball. Like, I don't understand it. Just, pull the trigger. And it drives me crazy just watching him. It really does. And I don't know what to do other than just scream at the TV. So, I mean,
That's what I do.
I'm not lost for words, actually.
Well, you're right, bro. I can't. I mean, everything that you said was spot on. I mean, It's the God's honest truth. It's an ugly.
It's a ugly situation, man. I appreciate the time, man. Thanks a lot, man.
And we appreciate you calling in. Make sure you listen. Listen to our shows on Sunday and stay strong. Don't let that E-High fuck with you. Stay strong when you're out there.
All right. Thanks a lot, guys.
Be good, buddy.
Thanks
for calling.
Slurp fest.
Oh, God.
That's a genius right there. That guy's a smart gentleman.
First of all, James, are you having people call in? You got
No,
like family,
not at all.
you got family and friends calling in right now?
Not at all. This is a pleasure for me. It's so nice to have people catching up to where I was 2 years ago. That's why I'm so pleasant now. I was furious 2 years ago. I'm a lot more pleasant now because I've seen that what I said is actually happening. And then there's a lot more people starting to join on board. All these people that are against Eli now, it wasn't like that when they made the switch in 2017. I was a minority.
No, as far as
now I'm starting to become the majority. I like it.
Well, of course, as years down the road, his play has absolutely diminished. But last year was the first season I actually saw Eli.
Oh, come on, Tim. In 2017, they scored. In 2017, they take the last 7 games of the season, they couldn't break 20 points. If it wasn't for that defense, they wouldn't have gone to the playoffs that year.
Oh, boy.
Well, it wasn't for Odell, if you really want to be honest. But
all right, okay. So it was for Odell. It was the defense and Odell. But Eli didn't have that great. Eli didn't have that great of a year that year.
No,
they didn't score 20 points in their last 6 games. It's obvious.
You cannot get you hold on to negative facts. You realize that?
Tim, Tim, the franchise has neglected to move on. Like, what are you missing? What is there to be happy about?
Tim, you don't.
Everybody's like, you're so negative. Why the fuck are you positive?
I'll tell you, this is why I'm positive. First of all, the talent has gotten better. I don't agree with you at all that the roster's gotten worse. Now, if they're young as crap. We're gonna have
1 through 53. They haven't gotten worse.
They're having growing pains.
1 through 53, not 1 through 22.
1 through 53.
They're not worse. They just had a tryout where they brought in 12 free agencies. 12 free agents in week 1.
Worse compared to what though? What year are we talking? They're better than they were last year.
Are they? We'll see.
Hey, you got the youth. You have the corner pieces to move on. And if Daniel Jones is the quarterback, which knock on wood, hopefully he is, then you know what? We lost 1 year of Saquon. Whatever. 2 years if you want to count this.
And I'm going to count next year too, and then I'll remind you next year that I said it this year, just like I remind you this year of what I said last year.
But you know what? It's fine. I rather have Saquon.
Of course you would.
The way he's going to play.
Analytics greater than highlights. I told you guys when they took him,
you're
going to get a lot of highlights, and you're not going to get a lot of wins. So far, I've been right.
Well, with Saquon, all I got to do is, hey, I'll just draft another running back.
Just make sure you take him in the third or fourth round. I can
find one in any round.
Make sure you take him in the 3rd or 4th round.
You want to give the predictions for this Sunday?
Yeah, let's go. Let's wrap up. Let's give a couple of predictions for Sunday. Tim, since I got last week right, you go first.
You're right.
So, almost down to the score too.
I got it. I was close. What did I say? 31-13 Cowboys?
Yeah.
Damn. All right, so I'm going to trying to be more realistic. I was being more hopeful last week.
No.
Now, I know this is going to be a tough game because people's Bills don't give Bills defense credit, but they're nasty.
Yeah, they are. They are fucking nasty. That defense is nasty.
So, and Josh Allen, I think we can mess with him. I'm hoping our secondary starts making some plays. But
I don't think go ahead. Yeah, I'll let you give your prediction first. Go ahead.
I'm gonna go with
You know you have them winning.
Yeah, I'm gonna have them winning. 20-17 Giants.
Okay.
Last probably Eli brings them down for a last 2-minute field goal.
Jeez. What a happy ending. I got here. I don't. If Shepard doesn't play and Zietler doesn't play, I don't know how we score. But because I got a lot of respect for that defense and how they play football. And this is why when people were saying, "Oh, it's Buffalo in week 2, we're just going to roll over them," I just smirked because I was like, "Okay, I don't think you realize how hard that Buffalo team plays and how well they're coached." I think that if you can't get pressure on the quarterback, you are in danger of Josh Allen running wild on you. So I think the Giants need to, if they're going to win the game, the first thing they need to do is run the football and then run it some more. And they need to run it 30 or 40 times and let Eli throw the ball 12 times. There needs to be a complete 180 on that. I don't see any of that happening. And I think the Giants lose an ugly game. I'm gonna go 20-10 Buffalo.
All right, gents.
Now, first of all, I know that Shepard's in concussion protocol. Is he already ruled out or what?
Not yet, but I think they did bring a receiver up from the practice squad, or they did something. They added a receiver just
they
in
signed
case.
They signed TJ Jones.
They signed TJ, but I don't know that it's a done deal that he's not playing. Tim, I haven't seen anything that said he was on the side today. I would imagine that he would need a full practice at least on Friday in order to compete. So I don't think the window is closed on Shepard playing. I think that it's still slightly open, but
I know Zietler said, he should be ready to go.
I would imagine Zietler would play. If I had a guess, I would say Zietler plays and Shepard doesn't, just because I don't think they fuck with the concussion. Because if he's not right and you put him back out there and he gets another one, now forget it. So if he has a concussion, if he can't practice today, I think tomorrow's the go for him. If he can get in a full practice tomorrow, I think you're a lot more comfortable with saying, okay, then Friday, and you let him play on Sunday. If he can't go tomorrow, then I don't know that I would be comfortable with one practice him playing, especially with a concussion. I think I may sit him out. But there's been no decision, good, bad, or indifferent, on if Shepard will play. Right now, it's just a bunch of speculation. They need him to play.
I agree.
All right, gents, I'll give you the score.
Do it up.
I am first. Let me thank everyone for calling in and jumping on and everything, and thank let's see, Cruising 26 for the super chat. I wanted to make sure I got that in there. And
did he ask a question with a super chat, or he just super chatted?
He kissed your ass, I think.
Oh, well.
Oh, God.
Thank you, buddy. So that means I get the cash.
I'll send it right over.
Yeah.
So it's not. I think it's going to be a close game, but I think the Giants are going to take the L. They're home, but if you've ever been to a Giant game in the home atmosphere, it is not loud at all. I don't think they're really going to have any issues. Josh Allen has a big arm, and we have a bad secondary at the moment that needs to gel. So there could be problems. I'm going to say
I'll be very curious to see how many people take the trip from Western New York
down
on Sunday. Yeah,
it's far.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
there's going to be a lot.
It is a far drive, but I think the Bills Mafia is crazy enough to do it. They're like, it's in state, let's drive.
Oh, even if it's out of state, you realize how big the Bills travel.
Yeah, they
were down at. There was tons of them down in Tennessee this past season.
Yeah, they travel. They come in droves.
So I think it's going to be 23-17. Unfortunately, not in favor of us.
There you go. So Marco and I
God,
have them starting at 0-2.
this is why I'm positive, because if I got depressing like you guys are, everybody's gonna be cutting themselves.
I'm not depressed. This isn't depressing. Like, to me, I feel bad for you guys. You guys are the ones that build yourself up all week just to get shit on.
Dude, I heard Ned on the phone. All I can see is Ned. Ned's got like all the curtains drawn. It's all dark.
I don't, but
He's
Tim,
just listening. He's
I
probably
don't
just listening to
understand how you could
podcasts.
look at this week after week and get yourself to the point where you're like, oh yeah, I think they're gonna win, just to get fucking like lambasted on Sunday.
Listen, all I want to see is progression. I saw week 1. Wasn't happy with it, but it is what it is. It's a Super Bowl contender at home, and we're not there yet. Okay. What are all these young kids going to do come week 2? Are they going to sit there and be crying about it, or are they going to learn from it? That's what
I
I
wish
want
we
to
knew
see.
that about Daniel Jones.
We might. Who knows? All it takes is one play, and Eli's out.
Oh, there you go. They're gonna be buzzing. Do you hear them?
Because when
Eli
I wanted to bring that point up earlier when you were talking about Peyton switching teams. If Peyton ever got hurt, Peyton's a Colt for life.
I don't think so. I think you're on crack. I think that they're smart enough to realize that they had the number 1 pick with Andrew Luck and that it was time to move on no matter what.
Well, that's my point. If he never got hurt, he would not. He would have been a Colt for life.
You don't know if it would have been for life, but it
They
probably would have been for the next
well,
year.
the fact is, because if he didn't get hurt, they would not have had the number 1 pick.
And if my aunt had balls, she'd be my uncle. But the bottom line is they had no problem fucking moving away from the guy because at the time it was the right thing to do. The circumstances being perfect, of course we'd want Eli to finish his career as a Giant. It doesn't happen like that.
No, and I understand you when the Montana years.
When
Montana got
those
hurt.
teams
Plus,
present themselves,
it's Steve
it
Young
is
behind him.
imperative when those cards are shown, it's imperative that you have a front office that is not sentimental and that is strictly business. And the Colts had one. The 49ers with Montana had one. There's been a bevy other quarterbacks where the teams have said, goodbye, thank you, but goodbye.
Well, you know what?
Phil Simms was one of them.
I'd rather have Eli because you know what? Eli saw Andrew Luck get drafted and retire, and he's still playing.
You miss you miss it. You would fit in right directly with the Giants front office.
That's so hopefully my father-in-law soon.
Oh.
All right, so let me give everyone the schedule for the rest of the week. Tomorrow, Crispy is going to game stream, so please join him on there. Friday, Tim, you're going to do 5 points?
Yeah, I mean, I'll get it to you.
Saturday, I'll put something out, and Sunday, we got the game. Right, James?
I am ready to go. 1 o'clock on Sunday, I will be there with my live game reaction.
Yeah.
I'll be at the bar.
What's new, Tim?
Tim breaking character. All right, everyone. I will see you tomorrow. Talk to everyone tomorrow.
Bleed Big Blue. Always.
Peace out.
Always.